Replacement costs for any electrical or technological equipment breakdown. So for example, if a washing machine stops working, that isn't covered under insurance. This is a mechanical failure that's happened over time. This isn't something that is covered. However, if there was an incident that caused that item to not work, that might be considered. So if there's a house fire, for example, and your washing machine is burnt out because of the house fire, that would be covered because fire was the cause and you didn't foresee that happening and it wasn't due to the breakdown of the equipment. Loss of luxury items. Now, some items, as I've mentioned previously, such as jewellery and watches, can be covered under the contents section or the personal possessions section of a home insurance, no problem, but they will have a certain limit attaching. So a good example is if you have a Rolex watch or a Breitling watch or some kind of similar premium brand, for example, it's likely that your contents policy would have a limit, and that limit might be something like 1,000 dirham. Now obviously that is not going to be sufficient to cover that expensive watch. So you should think about taking out some kind of additional insurance like a dedicated jewellery policy, for example. But what the policy will do is pay you up to the policy limit if the claim is a valid one. So that's just something to watch out for. Finally, any deterioration in the condition or the age of an item, so something that affects its value or its depreciation, this wouldn't be covered because again, that's normal commonplace risk of life. That isn't a sudden and unforeseen event that an insurance policy would cover. So you should carefully consider each of the non-insurances carefully and then have a plan to work out how you'd cover your exposure. So for example, things like white goods or technology could benefit from having an extended warranty, and there are actually insurance products that are specifically designed for warranties which you could consider, or you could take out a warranty in the store from where you've bought the item. I'd also strongly recommend that you carry out essential maintenance to prevent these scenarios occurring, the gradually operating causes that I mentioned like water damage. I'd also recommend that you keep your items clean and in good condition and keep them serviced, because again, as I mentioned, things like breakdown isn't an insurable risk under a home contents policy.